What is up, guys? Armchair Tuna back again with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you all late but still viable tips and tricks for the Grounded 1.4 update. Now, the reason why I made this video was because a follower of mine, Jake Plays YT, came into the update pretty late, and also I know that most of you PS4 and 5 players are just starting to get into New Game Plus, so I figured now's a great time to actually show you all some tips and tricks. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, so for the first tip, it is actually going to involve the remixer, and pretty much what this tip is going to be is make sure you collect all of the perfect toast here. And what I mean by that is that randomly around the room you can actually find something called perfect toast. Yup, and as you can see, I just got it here, and what it does is it gives you a extra crit chance and also yoked blows, and there can be multiple that can spawn in the room. I believe one always spawns in the trash can every time, but the other one I believe is random. I'm not sure. It could spawn in the same spot every time for you. But right here, I did find it on the floor, so I do think that it's the spawns are in the trash can and on the floor here, but I could be wrong. And before you end up remixing your yard, let's go on to the next tip. Alright guys, so for the next tip, it is going to be actually feeding all of the 8 queens. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to say, well, this is an infected 8 queen and you already fed, it. Well, I'm just saying this tip because before you even start New Game Plus, I would highly recommend that you feed all of the 8 queens first. So how I would recommend doing it is first befriending all the 8 queens in New Game Plus 0, which is just a normal game. In New Game Plus 1, that's when I say you should poison them, not infect them, because you actually can't get all the recipes to infect the 8 queens in New Game Plus 1. And in New Game Plus 2, that is when I say you should infect them, as that is when all of the recipes would spawn, and also, that is when, the infected toe jam sandwich recipe would spawn for the Fire Ant Queen. And obviously, I already have her infected here and fed. Yeah, just make sure that is the order you feed all the 8 queens in, and you should be good. Alright guys, for the next tip, it is going to be actually selecting the right weapon for New Game Plus. So I'm going to go down to the New Game Plus weapons, and as you can see, these are actually all of the weapons that are here. And the reason why I'm saying that is because now, obviously, you can have fun with whatever weapon you want. Like, no one's really... No one's really going to judge you if, you just like using a jalapeno or sour catania, I meant. But, with the 1.4.2 update, they have actually nerfed the I meant the Frosted Flake, and also the Pepper Flake, which were the 2 best battle axes in this update, and they actually replaced them with Final Stamina Surge, which means on the 3rd hit of your combo, you're gonna get a tiny bit of stamina back, which is not that good. I think it's more, but because of the fact you're constantly attacking and using stamina, it's not that much. So the weapons I would highly recommend for each New Game Plus would go for this. So for New Game Plus 1, I would highly recommend getting the Jalapeno and Breath Slayer. The Breath Slayer is going to be really good in the IBM fight, because on that 3rd hit, it will actually slow her slightly. And also, it is a 2-handed fresh sword. So you can use Blade Master to reduce the damage and also remove that, I think it's exhaustion timer for Blade Master. I can check real quick. Yeah, it removes your exhaustion timer with Blade Master. So it's going to be a really solid sword for dealing with the IBM and also some fresh creatures, especially since the fact that the Frosted Flake, it's not the best. I mean, the Frosted Flake you still can get in use if you get a trinket with Final Fury on it, but in my opinion, it's just not that good anymore. It's still decent, but it's not as good. And I would get the Jalapeno because in this update, it actually got buffed to where instead of Final Aftershock, it actually has a Final Fury on it. So it is a spicy club, which is going to be really good for the Broodmother. So in case maybe if you don't really want to use the, the Coltana or Battle Axe, the Jalapeno is also an option if you just want to have a clubbed weapon that has a Final Fury on it. And okay, moving on to the next weapons for a New Game Plus, 100% the Blazing Edge. Blazing Edge is really the only one here. Maybe the Pepper Flake, if once again, similar to the Frosted Flake, you have Final Fury. The Pucket Thumper is not that good. It's all right. All it is just it's pretty much just a mint mallet, but sour. And the Tingle Tongue is okay. I think it's got Final Fury on it. So if you want to, you can use that for a sword if you really like swords. And lastly, moving on to New Game Plus 3 weapons. Fresh Edge, 100%. All right, Fresh Edge is, it is such a good weapon. Especially after the nerf to the Frosted Flake. Fresh Edge is going to be extremely good. Sizzle Striker, once again, not really worth getting because it's just the, the mint mallet with spicy Final Aftershock. Voltana, also not really worth getting, but I mean, you can if you want to. Pickle Maul, it was just kind of a weapon I really like, so I got it just for me, but Chipper, sorry. Salt Chipper is definitely going to be a weapon that you're going to want because it is a tier 3 hammer and it is so much quicker than the Black Ox hammer. It's just really good. Honestly, I would highly recommend as soon as you get the Salt Chipper, switch it out for your Black Ox hammer because you are not going to regret it. And also telepotties. All right, I'm just going to say this now. Telepotties, 100% you're going to want. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. You're able to teleport from, like the shed area over here, like all the way to the Broodmother arena in less than a second. The Burgle stuff, not really worth getting. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of bad. But yeah, let's go on to the next tip. All right, guys, so for the next tip is going to be, just don't rush for New Game Plus, all right? I know a lot of you want to get to New Game Plus like 2, 3, or 4 and all that to see all the new content, but if you rush through pretty much all of New Game Plus, then you are going to be really weak. As you can see right here, I'm not like entirely weak, but before I got to New Game Plus 4, which is the difficulty, well, the New Game Plus difficulty I'm on now, my max health and stamina and healing, I would say this would be at like at a bar 3 or 4. This would be at 3, and this would be at like 4. So I was just rushing through it, and this just ended up resulting in me just getting like constantly one-shot by all of the bosses, which is really not fun at all, especially if you just want to progress and see all the new content, and then you realize that like you know rush through the entirety of New Game Plus and you are extremely weak for the next one, and then you know, like, you're getting frustrated because of the fact that you keep getting constantly one-shot by, like, the Broodmother or Mantis's infusions, and then eventually, then you have to actually go out and start grinding for all the Milk Mullers, which, keep in mind, they're in random spots, so just because I had a Milk Muller maybe, like, here, I think it was just here. I'll place a marker for it. Yeah, just because I had a Milk Muller, like right there, doesn't mean that you'll have a milk molar in your game. Like, perhaps, like, oops, sorry. Perhaps, like, you can get a milk molar, like, on top of one of the lasers. Or worse yet, I remember I had a milk molar that was on top of the haze canister, which absolutely sucked. And also another story, you see that milk molar there? Even though you all can't really see it, and I don't know if this is the right one, but, not that one, but right where I placed my marker, there was a milk molar. And just to prove that I actually did it, so as you could see, since we're coming up on the stump right here, you can see in the distance, like all of the buildings I have had to make in order to get this milk molar that was sitting, what was it? I would want to say like right on top here, to where you could not physically parkour up to it. So as you can see, like I had to get a bunch of weed stems and grass planks in order to get this unattainable milk molar, which absolutely sucked. And yeah, that's kind of wish why I, didn't really rush through New Game Plus. But obviously it's your choice. It's just my recommendation that you don't. And also, as you can see from the handy nat right here, you can use handy nat in New Game Plus, which brings us on to our next tip. All right, guys, for our next tip, it is going to be the fact that you can now use the handy nat in survival mode. So as you could see, all of these walls are like pretty much broken from when I did the Java-matic, and I could just like spam repair with the handy nat, I'm sorry guys, the handy nat. And it, like, I don't even have to use my Ant Queen tool, which is absolutely nuts, and I love this so much. And also, it just makes building a base or also doing the Java-matic 10 times easier than, like, assisting with the building of the Java-matic defenses 10 times easier than it needs to be. And oh my, let me, like, look at this, like, dude. And also, you can just hold and yeah, just do that. So you can just place a boatload of like mushroom walls everywhere, or just whatever. It doesn't even have to be mushroom. You can just place walls like literally everywhere. And also, so hold up, let me place this right here. So let's just say I wanted to make that, and I was just over here getting materials to make just that little tiny grass like structure, the little grass half wall. So if I was over here, or better example, let's just say I was like over here getting materials, or probably more reasonably up north getting materials from the Java-matic storage facility. I could just activate the handy nat, have it rush over here to where the Java-matic defenses are, find this half wall, and then I could build the half wall when my character is nowhere even near it, which is absolutely amazing. And also, I forgot to mention, you can unlock the handy nat on New Game Plus 1. Like, as soon as you activate the remixer and go straight into New Game Plus, you will have full access to the handy nat. And better yet, just to prove myself, as you could see, I still have the option to swap to custom game. But yeah, that is going to be that tip, and let's move on to the next tip. All right, guys, for the next tip, it is going to be picking out the right gear in order to take on the right bosses. So the Broodmother is not relatively that hard. You could probably get away using a spicy Coltana or maybe a sour battle axe on her. But one thing I would recommend is make sure to have a mount of pretty much all of the bosses so you can deal extra damage to them. And to also, and I've said this multiple times now, Perfect Toast. Make sure to dupe Perfect Toast. And the main reason is that the crit hit chance and the yoked blows it gives are absolutely insane. You are going to deal an insane amount of damage as well if it stacks with coup de grace and trapper peeper. You are just going to melt through most enemies. And also picking out the right gear. In my opinion, a build for armor that I would run would be a fire ant helmet down the bulky route, a chest of the mother demon down the sleek route, and also assassin's greaves down the sleek route. But you can also replace the assassin's greaves with a fire ant armor once again down the bulky route. And I'm just doing all that because if you wear light armor, if you don't parry every single hit, chances are you are probably going to get one-shotted. Medium armor is also the same, but if you have a piece of heavy armor for the chest plate, you can take a decent amount, which is why I would highly recommend getting a chest of the mother demon if you want to fight a boss, as it can deal really good DPS while also protecting you at the same time. And also, before I move on, the Mantis and the Wasp Queen, you are going to want to pick out the right build for both of them. I have videos, which I will link down below in the description, of what you should use for them. But also, you don't have to use my builds. You can use C-Dinky or Paralyzer's builds that they have as well, as both of them have really good builds to fight the Mantis and also the Wasp Queen. As on New Game Plus, they are tough, all right? In 1, they're not really that hard, but 2, in New Game Plus 1, they aren't that hard. 2, they're okay, but 3 is when the difficulty really starts to pick up. So, yeah, I would just make sure you have a good loadout for both of those fights. And, yeah, let's move on to the next tip. Alright guys, so for this next tip, it is actually going to revolve around farming a bunch of raw science and also infused ooze. So as you can see right here, there's a red soldier ant, an infused red soldier ant. We just took them out easily. And right there, we just got 5 infused ooze and 3k raw science. So I'm going to deal with the rest of these soldier ants real quick. But yeah, so before, if y'all can see it, hold up. Sorry about this. But yeah, we're at 88.2k raw science, and already I see 1, 2, 3, I see 3 infused soldier ants, and oh my god, there are just so many soldier ants. I have not seen this many soldier ants. Hold up, what is going on? But yeah, I have Ant Annihilator equipped right now, and look at that, we just got 6 more infused ooze, and I would highly recommend doing this in an area where I'm in. You could easily take on the creatures there, like the Red Ant Hill, or maybe even the Larva Den that's by the, what is it? Kind of near where the Spade is, I want to say. I'm not sure where it's at to be exact, but like, as you can see, we went up from 88k to 97k. And we haven't even entered the Red Ant Hill yet, which is absolutely nuts. So right here, I'm going to skip over these guys, and I'm going to go. But unfortunately, we did get a bit unlucky, but normally there would be around maybe 2 or 3 infused ants in there, I meant, but I guess we just got really unlucky and had them all spawn outside. But I will kill off all these red ants real quick. We went from 88k to around 97,000k. Actually, it was 85k, I meant. So we gained a total of like 12.5k, I want to say, maybe slightly less, slightly more, off of just killing the soldier ants. And right here we have a infused ant, and this will boost us right back up to 100k. So if I could catch up to it. But yeah, I'm gonna loot it, and as you can see, just from doing this as well, I have 32 infused ooze, which is going to be really helpful for New Game Plus, because one, it's used to make fusion crystals, sorry. But yeah, fusion crystals are going to be your main priority when you actually do a New Game Plus. Alright guys, so for this next tip, I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to farm fusion crystals, at least in my opinion, without having to go around the entire yard and having to kill all the infused creatures and even getting a chance at getting a decent amount of infused ooze. So I'm going to be fighting the Broodmother now. I am on New Game Plus 4, so this fight's going to be a lot different than those of you who are on New Game Plus like 1 or 2. And I am using the Blazing Edge, but if you're on New Game Plus 1, the Sour Battle Axe and also the Spicy Coltana do also work out really well. And for mutations, I got Coup de Grace and Trapper Peeper for damage, Cardio Fan and Parry Master for stamina, and Chopper to remove the stamina regen delay when not exhausted, and to just deal more damage with axes by like 30%, I want to say. But anyways, let's just hop right into the fight. And starting off, also, I forgot to mention, I did in fact eat Perfect Toast for this. Once again, Perfect Toast, I would highly recommend just duping it as much as possible, because look at that, legit, like 3 seconds in the fight, and we already have her like down to 1/3 of her health, which is crazy. And also, I will go on my next tip sooner or later, but I'm just gonna kill her right here, and she is dead. So I'm just gonna loot her body, and as you can see, I got 8 infused ooze from that and 4 Broodmother ooze, which is absolutely insane. And also I got infused weapons, which most of you who are watching this video probably don't need to worry about right away, and trust me, we will get to that soon. But I believe, and I will check the crafting menu, so just from that fight, I can craft 1 fusion crystal, and I just have about enough to make a 2nd fusion crystal. So the Broodmother fight, it's not that hard, but I would still definitely recommend stocking up for it. And yeah, let's go on to our next tip. Alright guys, for the last and final tip of today's video, it is going to be from the Java-Matic. So in New Game Plus 1 and 2, the Java-Matic is not that hard. You could probably get away with having a defense similar to what I have. New Game Plus 3, that is when the enemies get really hard, especially with the infusions. One enemy that I can definitely say absolutely sucks in New Game Plus 3 is the Dust Mite. All right, the Dust Mite will absolutely shred through your health if it is infused and you step in its dust cloud. That, and also any infused creature will absolutely shred through these builds. Like, even though like, as you can see, I just have like a mesh of walls right here protecting like the south side of the Java-Matic. Like, I've had times to where, like, just because of infused creatures, like all of these walls got destroyed. Every single one of these walls were destroyed, and it's absolutely nuts. So definitely fortify the Java-Matic a lot more. And also, it's gonna suck because I know most of you have your Java-Matics looking like they just ran through Compton and back, but yeah. But I know, like, most of you, especially after y'all logged on for the New Game Plus update, after, you know, you just beat the base game and go into New Game Plus, most of your Java-Matics are going to look like they have been straight through Compton. Like, it's just not going to be viable for New Game Plus. So definitely fortify them. And yeah, that is pretty much all of the tips in this video. If there's a tip that I've missed out, please leave it in the comments below. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.